Well, students, so let us move to the next session in which we will be discussing about the kinetic theory of gases in the next chapter. So let us go through it. The kinetic theory of gases, I have already studied in chemistry also, in which you have come across different gas laws, gas equations, how the gases behave, the molecules of the gases behave, what are the different velocities of the gases. So we'll be having a quick revision on what we have gone through in this chapter. So kinetic theory of gas relates the macroscopic properties of gas such as pressure, temperature, etc. to the microscopic property of gas such as speed, momentum of a molecule, kinetic energy of a molecule, etc. So basically, this theory is say proposed in order to understand how the macroscopic properties will vary with microscopic properties of gas molecules. So macroscopic properties are those properties which will be seen as a bulk, and microscopic are those which will be seen when I consider the particles of a gas. So now here there are a few laws which will be governing this theory. So let us start with the Boyle's law, according to which at a constant temperature, the volume of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. So V is proportional to 1 by V, and PV equals to constant is the basic equation here. So P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. So PV equals to P divided by M by rho. So volume can be written as mass per density. So P by rho is constant as M will remain constant. So P1 by rho 1 will be equal to P2 by rho 2. So this is the variation of pressure with density, and mass will remain constant. So PV equals to P into N by N, that is number of molecules here. So then you are having it as constant. So P divided by N equals to constant. P1 by N1 equals to P2 by N2, where small n is the number of moles. As the number of molecules per unit volume, N equals to capital N divided by V. That is total number of molecules divided by volume. So it will be V equals to N divided by N. Also N is a constant. So this is how we have an equation relating this. Now graphical representation, if M and T are constant, so PV graph basically, then again PV versus P graph, then PV versus V graph, then P versus 1 by V graph, and V versus 1 by P graph. So all are shown to you. Basically the PV graph which is shown to you here is a parabolic in nature. So that is the important graph which we need to remember here. So Charles law, so if the pressure remains constant and the volume of a given mass is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So we are having V proportional to T. So at constant pressure this will happen. So V by T equals to constant, V1 by T1 equals to V2 by T2, V by T equals to M divided by rho T is equal to constant. So this is how we get it, or rho 1 T1 equals to rho 2 T2. So this is how the relations can be obtained, various parameters. So this is how Charles law will govern the gases. Now, if the pressure remains constant, the volume of a given mass of a gas increases or decreases by 1 divided by 273.15 of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for each 1 degree rise and fall in temperature. Say suppose now here you are having a gas now whose mass is or whose pressure remains constant, and you are having the volume being increased or decreased. So then what will happen is its temperature also will increase and decrease, and there what will happen is at 0 degrees Celsius for every 1 degree rise in temperature or fall in temperature, the pressure will be, or sorry, the volume will be changing by 1 by 273 times of its original volume. So depending upon this, we have an scale which we have designed, and we call it as a Kelvin scale or absolute scale, because practically the volume of any substance or any gas will not become zero at absolute zero, but we extrapolate this graph which we obtain practically, and then we get this as 1 by 273 factor. So graphical representation, if M and T are constant, so VT graphic, as you can see, it will be a straight line passing linear graph, it will be passing through origin. So 1 by V versus T is parabolic, V versus 1 by T is parabolic, V by T is parallel to x-axis, and V by T is again parallel to y, let's say x-axis. So this is the idea about the Charles law. Moving further, coming to the Gay-Lussac's law or pressure law, the volume remaining constant, the pressure of a given mass is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. So now when we take volume as constant, so then pressure is directly proportional to temperature, or P by T is constant. P1 by T1 equals to P2 by T2 is the equation which you get here. Again, there will be one particular factor called as 1 divided by 273.15. So wherein we have change in pressure uh, per degree rise or per degree fall in temperature. So a represent graph representation will also remain same as we have seen for volume temperature graph. Now coming to the equation of a state or ideal gas equation. So when we combine Charles law and Boyle's law, so we get an equation called as PV equals to mu RT or PV equals to nRT. So PV is pressure and volume, nRT is N is number of moles, R is the universal gas constant, and T is supposed to be the absolute temperature. So this relation we call this as ideal gas equation. So those gas which follow these equations are also called as ideal gas. Now those which will not follow are called as real gases, and they do not obey gas laws. So a real gas behaves as ideal gas most closely at low pressure and high temperature. So this is the thing which you need to remember. So this is an objective question. At low pressure and high temperature, the gas will behave as ideal. But high pressure and low temperature, it will be behaving as it will deviate from its ideal gas behavior, and it will not follow the ideal gas equation at that. Now, assumptions for ideal gas theory. Kinetic theory of gas is applicable for a large number of molecules. Intermolecular forces between two molecules is negligible. The force due to gravity is neglected. The separation between the molecules is much larger as compared to their sizes. The molecules are perfectly elastic, and all collisions between molecules and wall are also considered as perfectly elastic. All gases at high temperature and low pressure behave like an ideal gas. So this is how we have an equation here. Moving to the pressure exerted, so this equation we have calculated derived for 5 months in our first year class. So just try to gather the information related to it. So pressure will be given by 1 by 3. So the pressure exerted due to the continuous bombardment of gas molecules against the wall of a container, we call it as here, and we are calculating it. So P will be equal to 1 by 3 Mn divided by V into Vrms whole square. So or 1 by 3 rho Vrms whole square. So Vrms will be equal to root of Tp by rho. So Vrms is inversely proportional to root rho. So here Vrms is called as root mean square velocity, which where it is defined as the root of the square mean of the squares of the individual velocities of the gases. So this is how we define it. So then you are having a relation between pressure and kinetic energy. So P equals to 2 by 3 times E, or E equals to 3 by 2 times P. So P equals to, so there is a series of changes in the equations in different terms they have given you. You can go through it. So P equals to 1 by 3 rho Vrms whole square equals to, which implies Vrms equals to root of Tp by rho, which is equals to root of 3 PV by mass of gas, which is equal to root of 3 RT by M, where M is the mass of the gas, which is equal to root of 3 KT by M. So which is, and Vrms equals to root of 3 RT by M, and Vs equals to root of gamma RT by M, and Vrms equals to root of 3 gamma by root of 3 by gamma into Vs. So this is how we get the equation. Mole has no atmosphere because the RMS velocity of the molecule is more than the escape velocity. So in gravitation, we have seen this point, wherein for any planet to have or any object in the space to have its atmosphere, its RMS velocity must be less than the escape velocity. Only then there will be atmosphere. So at t equals to 0, Vrms is 0. That is the RMS speed of the molecule of a gas is 0 at 0 Kelvin. This temperature is called absolute zero. So different types of speeds are defined for a gas. So first is RMS speed. So already we have gone through this equation. Next you are having average speed. So it is root of 8 RT divided by m pi. So it is equal to root of 8p divided by rho. So it is the average speed of all the molecules. Next you are having most probable speed. So most probable speed is defined as the speed corresponding to which there is a maximum number of molecules. So the molecules, maximum number of molecules moving with the same speed is called as most probable speed of the gas. So then you are having Vmp equals to root of 2 RT by mw. So these are all different relations between different velocities. So here he has given you the ratio. Vrms is to V average equals to is to V most probably is equal to root 3 is to root of 8 by 5 is to root 2. So this is the ratio which you will be getting here. Now kinetic interpretation of temperature from translational kinetic energy 3 by 2 nRT. Mean free path. The mean free path is the average distance covered by molecules between two successive collisions. This is very much important. Two successive collisions, and it is given by lambda equals to 1 divided by root of 2 pi d square into n, where n is the number of molecules per unit volume and d is the diameter of the pi, or diameter of the molecule. So degrees of freedom. So it is the number of possible independent motions an atom or a molecule can have, and it is termed as degrees of motion here. The total number of independent ways in which a system can possess energy is also called as degree of freedom. The independent motions can be translational, rotational, or vibrational, or any combination of these. Now, translational degree of freedom, maximum 3 there are, and rotational, the number of degrees of freedom in this case depends upon the structure of the molecule. Further, vibrational, it is exhibited at high temperature. General expression for degree of freedom, F equals to 3a minus b, where a is the number of independent particles and b is the number of independent restrictions. So this is how it is. So for monoatomic, translational 3, so total 3, rotational 0, total 3. For diatomic, translational 3, rotational 2, so it is 5. And for triatomic, it will be 3, 2, total 5. Then for triatomic non-linear, it will be 3 and 3, which will be 6. At high temperature, a diatomic molecule can have 7 degrees of freedom. So there what will happen is 3 translational, 2 rotational, and 2 vibrational modes will come into picture. Law of equipartition of energy. So according to this law, for any system in thermal equilibrium, The total energy is equally distributed among its various degrees of freedom, and each degree of freedom is associated with the energy of half kBt, where K is called as Boltzmann constant. Its value is 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. T will be equal to absolute temperature of the system. So at a given temperature T, all ideal gas molecules, no matter what their mass, have the same average translational kinetic energy, namely 3 by 2 kT. When measure of temperature of a gas, we are also measuring the average translational kinetic energy of its molecule. Now, specific heat at constant volume. So, the specific heat of a gas is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of gas through 1 degree Celsius at constant volume. It is given by delta QV divided by m delta T. So, instead of 1 mole of gas, if we in 1 kg of gas, if we consider it as 1 mole, so then it is called as molar specific heat at constant volume. So then it will be 1 by mu times delta Q divided by delta T. So specific heat at constant pressure, again it is the quantity of amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius or 1 degree Kelvin when its pressure is kept constant. So we have an equation in the same way. Then there is a relation between Cp and Cv, which is famously called as Mayer's relation. So Cp minus Cv will be equal to P delta V divided by mu delta T, which is equal to R. And this is called as Mayer's relation, which also shows that Cp is greater than Cv. Now, specific heat capacity ratio, if I take Cp by Cv, then it is given by gamma. So, gamma will be equal to Cp by Cv, which will be equal to F by 2 plus 1 into R divided by F by 2R, so which is equal to 1 plus 2 by F. So, now for monoatomic gas, the gamma value will be 5 by 3, that is 1.6. For diatomic, it is 7 by 5, that is 1 by 1.4. And for triatomic, it is 4 by 3, that is 1.33. So, these are all different values, Cp value, and gamma values have been given in this tabular column. Just you can have a glance at it. So Cv 3 by F degrees of freedoms are given first. So it will be 3 by 2R, 5 by 2R, 5 by 3. So 1.67. Then for diatomic it is 5 by 2R, 7 by 2R. So 5 by 7 by 5 will be, it will be 1.4. So triatomic linear at high temperature 7 it is. So 7 by 2R, 9 by 2R, 9 by 7. So it is 1.28. And for triangular non-linear, so it will be 6 by 2, 6 by 2R, 8 by 2R, so it will be 4 by 3, which is 1.33. So this is how we get the equations here. So this is all about your kinetic theory of gases. Very small chapter, but very important one from your examination point of view because many questions are framed from it. So thank you for having a discussion on this.